Welcome to the press room. I'm Kirby Jackson, your host for this evening's program. On Wednesday evenings at 8, right here at Searchlight, Facebook page and YouTube channel, we discuss issues of national importance and how they affect the Vincentian public. Thank you so much for joining us. Vincy Soca and Calypso have been on a virtual hiatus since 2019 when Vincymas was last held. Hardly any new music has been released and fans are hungry for a taste of sweet Vincy music. What have our artists and producers at home and abroad been doing during the lockdown? What can we expect in the upcoming months? What can we do to place Vincy music more firmly on the global stage? To discuss this topic, we'll be joined in the press room this evening by royalty in the world of Soca and Calypso. We have the International Soca artist and songwriter Shertz Problem Child James, reigning Calypso Monarch Shaunelle McKenzie, and reigning Soca Monarch Derron Magikal Rouse. We have a very interesting and informative program in store for you. Remember to share the live and type your questions in the comment section below. We'll try to answer all of them during the final segment of the program. When we come back, we'll be joined by Problem Child, Shaunelle, and Magikal.
I got my COVID-19 vaccine and my booster shot to ensure that I am protected. I've never been tested positive for COVID-19, and even if I did contract the virus, I've never been sick. And I am confident that the COVID-19 vaccine significantly contributed to that. The vaccines are safe, they are effective, and they're one of the ways that we can navigate this pandemic together. If you've not yet considered vaccination or getting your booster shot, I encourage you to do so today. Get vaccinated.
We extend a warm welcome to the press room to Problem Child Shaunelle and Magikal. Welcome, guys. It's an
Thank you.
absolute pleasure to have you all here.
Thank you.
I'm
Thank you,
sure
thank you, thank you.
I'm sure everyone knows you guys, but Shaunelle, you have proven to be an absolute gem in every level of calypso music, from a hat trick at primary school level, 4 times secondary school champion, 23 years veteran and reigning Calypso Monarch. Welcome to you.
Thank you very much. Thank you guys for inviting me here. It's my pleasure.
And of course, if you make a list of all the big soca hits over the last few years and you check the credits, Problem Child's name is most likely going to be found somewhere there. From just take Patrice Roberts' hits like Carry On, Like It Like That, and Into You, or Marshall Montano's High Life, just to name a few. We can't say how happy we are to have you join us tonight, Problem.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
And we have the Wonder Kid, Magikal. As a 21-year-old, you enter the ring with the big dog, 10 times champion Fireman Hooper, and dethroned him. Welcome to you,
Thanks,
2019 Soca Monarch champion. Yeah. How does it feel to have that title, Magikal?
Oh, well, it's a good feeling. I have to thank to the people of St. Vincent and the Grenadines and even the foreigners who came and support me in 2019 and who keep supporting me over the years. Having that title is not something easy and I'm grateful. Well, it's we who basically have it, so thankful for it.
You know, when you won that title in 2019, obviously it was a big deal in the Vincy Soca arena because you went up and you traded punches with a legend in the genre in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. You have had the last couple of years to soak it in. What has stayed with you?
Can you repeat what you said by the end? I did not hear what you said by the
I
end.
said, you know, you have had the last couple of years to soak it in. You know, that tremendous victory in 2009. What has stayed with you from that victory? Now that you have had the past couple of years to soak it in.
Well, the name it stands as in the Soca Monarch winner for Simmons and Grenadines. Anywhere I go, people be like, there's um there's a guy from St. Vincent who win the Soca Monarch in 2019 and stuff like that. So yeah, there is a benefit. It make life easier for me in certain aspects and certain places.
Good, good. And Shaunelle, your longevity and success is clearly seen. What has kept you in the arena so long, and what still drives you as an artist? I mean, when people hear your name, I'm sure people think you're much older than you really are. You know, so how have you kept driven? Because you've been around, seem like
Something that
generations.
keeps you in this business it's your love of music.
Mhm.
And I have been fortunate to be exposed to Calypso, Soca, and Raga Soca. So, any which way in the industry that I turn, you know, I'm always gonna be met with the music. So it has to be your love for music that keeps you going. Even if you might not win titles, and winning titles isn't all of it. Sometimes it's building a catalog. So yeah, it's my love.
And you still feel passionate as you did all those years ago.
I still do. I still do. I mean, next year would be 30 years since I've been singing, and it's quite a long run.
That's a lifetime for some. Yeah. And what about you?
Yeah.
I mean, Problem Child, I mean, as I said in the intro, and that's not just speed talk, as you would say, almost every hit that you see now, your name is somewhere in the credits. You know, how do you manage this? You know, because I'm sure it has taken on a life of its own. and you're big in the dance, as we would say. How do you manage it? You know, you're writing for different artists. You have your own singing career. How do you manage it?
I mean, it's just who I am and who I've become as a person. It's just, to me at this point, it's second nature. I mean, I always tell people, if you're lucky to make a living doing something that you would do for free or for fun, or to turn your hobby into your source of income, it's a lot easier than other people might think. So to everybody else, it's like work. To me, it's like, some people, they play soccer and after work every day, they have to go and play soccer because that's what they really love to do. That's their thing. That's just their vibe. It's just like me getting lucky to do what I would do after work. That just happens to be my actual job. So it's nothing for me to do. It is what I would have been doing if I was doing something else. That's what what I would have been doing in my spare time anyway. So it's easy for me. It just became second nature at this point.
Let me follow by asking you, for especially being a songwriter who writes so many hits, and you write for different artists, how do you deal with the competition that you may give artist X a song, and then artist Y may have wanted that song when they realize that that song has blown up on the charts? How do you keep all the persons that you write for happy?
I don't worry about how they feel. What's for somebody else they're gonna get. Even songs that I could have kept for myself that other people ended up with, and I'm not worried about it. So that's just how life bounces. You're not gonna get everything. You're gonna always get what's yours. And just to put it out there that I'm an artist first before songwriting is just something I was forced to do to gain recognition as an artist. So the songwriting is just like it's like a next job.
You remember Party Animal?
Of course.
What was that like for you? I look back at some of the interviews you did in the past, and it seemed like that breakthrough really meant a lot to you.
Yeah, well, that goes back to what I was saying. It was just meant to be because it wasn't planned. That song is actually a demo. That song was written for the producer, but when it was sent to be mixed, the engineer decided that my voice or I fit the song better than who the song was written for, to some regard. So they released the song without my knowledge. I was actually in flight on my way home to St. Vincent when the song started playing on radio. And when I landed, it was already playing. I had no idea. So, it was just a blessing. It wasn't planned or anything like that. It was definitely my first international breakthrough song, and it did a lot for me from that point moving forward.
Have you been able just finally on that to really strike that balance between your writing and your singing? Do you think any aspect suffers, or you give equal time to it, or is it 60-40, 70-30?
I have no idea. I don't have a formula. Like I said, it's just what I do at this point. Mostly everything based on energy, and sometimes I may hear a beat and it's just like, okay, you just automatically know this is for me, or I know this is for someone else, or it might be a beat where I have to write multiple songs for myself and other people as well. That's just what it is. I've accepted the task, and I've gotten somewhat good at it. So I don't really too worry about how it happens.
Good. When we come back from this short break, we're going to be diving into the whole idea of the effects of COVID-19 and, how it affected the music industry, and you share with you guys and get your experiences as is regards to that, as we look forward to what is to come for the rest of 2022. We'll be right back here in the press room.
I'm Shanika John, Chief Health Promotion Officer acting in the Ministry of Health, Wellness and Environment. Since St. Vincent and the Grenadines started administering the COVID-19 vaccines, we've encouraged persons from different age group, different risk factors to get vaccinated. For those persons who have contracted the COVID-19 virus, vaccinated or unvaccinated, the severity and the impact of the virus is significantly different. If you've not yet considered getting the vaccine, I encourage you to do so today. Get vaccinated.
Searchlight Online, now stronger and better, and with more options for everyone. Download the free app and access the e-paper and breaking news. Check out our e-papers read aloud and translation features. Read our e-paper in different formats, even when you are offline. Access our online archive as far back as 2005. Only interested in viewing ads? Go directly to our print ad marketplace. Subscribers get exclusive access to a full-color midweek e-paper edition, in addition to the weekend edition. Affordable monthly, quarterly, biannual, and annual e-subscription plans. Book, submit, and pay for advertisements online. Go to www.searchlight.vc for more details. Searchlight, journalism you can trust. Now stronger, better, and with more options for everyone.
Well, welcome back to the press room. We are here with Magikal, Problem Child, and Shaunelle McKenzie, and we're looking at COVID-19. I mean, I'm sure some of you are fed up speaking about it, but it was a reality, and it is a reality that we have had to deal with. Magikal, you came out with a song talking about being fed up of the virtual.
Yeah.
And I want to start with you. You won the crown in 2019, and as you said, it's a time when doors would have been open. You're a brand new champion, and you didn't really get a chance to enjoy that victory lap or the benefits that comes from winning such a title. How has COVID-19 been for you?
Well, basically, in 2019, I get to travel a lot. In 2019, I went to Barbados, Trinidad, Canada, America in 2019. But in 2020, when the COVID was hit big, like it just came big full effect. It slowed down a lot of things. And then when my work permit and my visa was out, and the whole youth process and stuff like that was really crazy, like really crazy. So places that promoter wanted to book my did not get to go. So that reduced a lot in the income. A lot.
Was it financially challenging?
Yeah, well, of course it must be because I do music as a full-time job. I don't do it as a side hustle or nothing like that. I do it as a job. Because it's a job, we as musicians should treat it as a job. So as an artist, me from my end, I make the most money when performing, and like not basically from streaming. My most money come from performing and stuff like that. So in terms of that aspect, it was reduced to certain extent due to the fact that I can't do shows, right? And bills come, bills have to pay, family have to support and stuff like that. So yeah, it was really challenging, but yeah, give God thanks to because we are here. So yeah.
Problem, could we segue into you where that is concerned? Being based in the US, share a bit about your experience dealing with the effects of COVID-19.
I mean, to me, I'm the glass is always half full type of person. Like if life give you lemon, just make lemonade. I always look at the positive side of things. So, I mean, much like anyone else, I panicked when it started, the whole pandemic started, but I just decided, listen, you have more time on your hands than anything. So I always tell people, if you didn't come out of the pandemic learning a new skill or improving on something that you already know how to do, you wasted your time. So the first thing I did was I couldn't go to the studio. So the very first thing I did was I invested in studio equipment where I could record at home because that's where I was stuck. And it's like asking anybody to do anything they love and giving them all the time in the world to do it. I'm going to get better. I'm going to learn new tricks. So I started recording myself here. And everything, it was easy for me because I could just get up in the morning and go record. I didn't have to go venture out. No one was allowed to go out for some period. So it was working out in my favor. I released a couple of songs. And as far as performances or anything else, it hampered me and moving about somewhat. But in New York, we're a little bit more rebellious out here in foreign, where there were a couple of events that was done, and some people were like, oh, you shouldn't be doing events and this and that and whatever the case may be. But I've always been a rebel, and in foreign, bills how to get paid. You understand what I'm saying? Nobody gives you anything. So I don't want to be the one to be out here now trying to ask anybody for assistance or anything like that when I know I have a means of supporting my family and making an income. So I ventured out and I did whatever little I could do as responsibly as I could do it, you know, and then after that, a lot of people started doing it. So it was bad for me, much like it was for anybody else, but I found a way to survive throughout the whole thing.
Yeah. What about you, Shaunelle? I know you also work also, but I know music is a part of your life. How did it affect you?
You know, I was a little fortunate because I have a 8 to 4 job, you know, as some would say, but you do miss that additional income. You do miss it. There was a lot of adjustments that had to be made, you know. Sometimes you hear people say the 8 to 4 job doesn't cut it. They have to find a side hustle, right? Unfortunately, I grew up not being able to make music my main source of income because back in the day, we didn't have everything that's available. The internet wasn't that, you know, that available to a lot of people, you know. Further along, we had the social media platforms coming on stream and what's not. So it's either you find the 8 to 4 job or you just have that one lucky song that's going to take you across the world. You understand? So for me, being employed was a great help for me, but it did impact me in one way or the other because that additional income was definitely missed.
Yeah. What about your creative juices? Any new ingredients have been added to your creative juices during this time?
You know what? I spent a lot of time because after 2019, you're already thinking about what you want to do to defend your crown in 2020. And then, you know, me and my writer, my Calypso writer, had so many discussions. And then, are we having a carnival? Are we not having a carnival? And, you know, as time go by, you discuss topics, you discuss, you know, and for me, I missed soca music and raga soca music so much that in 2022, because I haven't done any soca music for the last maybe 3 or 4 years. And because of that, I want to get back into soca music and raga soca music. You know, I've reached out to, hey, let me not let anything out, but hoping to have some hits coming, hint, hint. But yeah, the creative part is definitely bubbling inside me to get back out there.
Problem, I'm anticipating like some wings are being sent your way. You know? Are you still the wings?
Pot cooking.
Let me ask you, how involved are you? You know, and even as you go international, and there's no doubt about it, you have been going international. What do you see your role as being as it relates to promoting the music and helping to lift young artists and even people like Shaunelle who's throwing the wings your way to continue to create and churn out new hits?
Oh, well, personally, it's not an issue or struggle for me to continue doing what I've been doing. Like, I put out a lot of music in the last couple of years, and I have even more unreleased music, like so many unreleased songs. But as far as me assisting, it's very, unfortunately, it's very difficult to assist much of the younger generation. And, you know, people might be looking at me like, what are you talking about? Everybody want help. Our culture is our people is so different, bro. Like, constructive criticism is often looked at as a disrespect. If you give somebody advice, much too often, the first thing out of their mouth is, feel because there's something where you can tell people what to do. Bro, no, I just want to see you do better. And I've traveled the road. So if I travel the road and it have a bad dog down there biting up people, and I say, brethren, don't walk down it, have a bad dog biting up people. You should walk this way. You're going to look at that and be like, oh, you want to tell me if you do. Me want to go around it. Who you feel if you tell me if I walk around it. So that's been a lot of, I've seen and heard it. I've experienced it. And a lot of people have told me that they've experienced it as well. So what I try to do is if someone asks me for help, I tend to assist in that regard as opposed to me not minding my business, seeing somebody make it, in my opinion, what might not be the best move and going and telling them. I don't want nobody to say, I'm boy, the problem, feeling everything. I get you a couple of times, I'll tell man if I do. So yeah, that's just the role I play. If you ask me and I could assist, I will assist.
So in other words, you drink water unless they ask you.
I chill. Yep, that's what I do.
Magikal, as the young artist here, you're hearing what Shaunelle is saying, what Problem is saying. What are your views as a young man in the industry? Hearing that.
You know, basically, if I do understand something, I pick up my phone and call Problem or text Problem and say, yo, Problem, XYZ, how you go about doing this, how you go about doing that, and Problem go tell me like XYZ, I go reach out to a couple of the artists who I know is above me in terms in the industry, because you have to be true to yourself and know it's just level out to the thing. You have people who are above you, people who are the same level with you, and people that below you. And I can reach like Problem and those guys reach. So if I want to know something, I will message Problem and say like, yo bro, how you go about doing this? How you go about doing this? And Problem even help me in certain things in terms of give me some advice and tell me like, yo, you need to start to do this, you need to start to do that. And taking these advice into consideration, I have seen my growth. So yeah, what I'm saying is basically the right stuff. And what Shaunelle is saying is basically the right stuff.
Shaunelle, he makes mention, Magikal makes mention of knowing knowing where you are at in the industry. But he uses the term, he knows those who are above him. And I don't think I'm thinking he doesn't mean that they are more important than him, but as it relates to achievement. How important is that to know your status and know who you can look to help build you and so forth?
You know, sometimes let me just speak about me. I'm quite a reserved person. I'm not particularly the one who you would see on the forefront of a lot of things, like up in your face, but I let my work speak for itself, and I allow the fans to decide what they like, what they don't like. You know, I'm not the type of person to go and I'm not your in your face type of artist. I put out work, I do the promotions, I leave it up to the fans and the people listening to decide if they like it. If they don't like it, they embrace it, you know. So I won't be the person to say to Magikal, you know, I'm above you. You want to get that from me. If Magikal wants to look at me and say, Shaunelle, you're above me because you've been in the business for X amount of years. You've done this, you've been here, you've performed here, you've done that. What can I do to change this? What can I do to help? Then, you know, I'm open to that type of discussion. If you feel, I'm humble knowing that you look at me as somebody that you could ask advice, and whatever advice that I can give you, then I am open to that.
One of the things that has been important during this time is the use of social media. Because as you said, Problem, we were locked down, we couldn't go much places, and social media became even more important. How have you assessed the way artists use social media, and are they getting the best out of it from your vantage point?
I mean, that I couldn't really answer that except from any other angle except for myself. I know I know of utmost importance. A lot of people might not think it's as important as it really is, but it depends on your goal, your ambitions, and where you want to reach. I know what it's done for me. I know I've met a bunch of other people. I know branding in this day and age, branding is way more important than talent. It is so true that if people like you, you don't have to be the best vocalist. You don't have to be the best writer. If people are drawn to you as a person, DJs automatically just like you. You get further that way than people. There's a lot of people out there who are very talented, but their brand is not as big. So therefore, they're not as recognized. So branding is of utmost importance. Some people might think like, I ain't how to do that. But okay, if you want to stay there, whatever. But I guarantee you, if you build your brand and your brand grow, as talented as you are, you're gonna make moves. You're gonna make waves. You have to. Some people don't even want to make the effort. And I'm not knocking them for not wanting to make the effort, because it's not in a lot of people to make that effort. But if you're gonna take point blank period, if you're an artist in 2022, you have to take social media seriously, if that's what you want to do.
Finances. Shaunelle, you are a trained accountant. And I think one of the things that this pandemic has really brought to the forefront is how you spend your money. Because there are times like now where money is limited, opportunities might have been limited, and what you invested in and how you spent your money would have been crucial. What can you say towards about that as it relates to the music industry? Because I think a lot of the musicians and artists would have had to deal with that over the last couple of years.
Now, if you're asking me generally about deciding what is a need and what is a want when it comes to spending your money, you have to apply the same thing with your music. Do you have it to invest? Producers need to get paid. Engineers need to get paid. Writers need to get paid. And then at the end of the day, you need to make some money to feed your family. So when I looked at the last couple of years, I said, boy, is it going to be worth it to invest this when you know you're not leaving St. Vincent to do? Chances are, let me not say you're not, chances are, because like Shertz said, little things were happening. You never know. You might have been on the call list to do one of these things. But that time you have to decide what is a need and what is a want. You either spend your money on what you need or you spend it on what you want. You decide.
How do you see this issue problem? One of the things, as we're dealing with finances, do you think that this pandemic has kind of brought that to the forefront for artists and musicians to realize,
definitely the smart ones, and I'd like to think that everyone is smart to some degree, but the people who use their brains and just like apply their smarts to it would have learned the importance of the music business and how it's done. A lot of people are starting to make sure that their splits are set up appropriately, their streams, their this, that, their whatever. And back in the day, we just sang songs and just like whatever. I used to always wonder how a certain person that I've worked with was just staying home every day and making music when I first started. And I didn't understand. But what it was they were making so much money off the streaming and the artist wasn't making any, which we had a right to. And I'm kind of thankful for that happening, because it opened my eyes as far as trying to figure out, how are you home every day just behind the keyboard and you make all this money? How does that happen? Because I was like, there's got to be some of it out there for me. So I started looking into it. It's all about setting up your thing the right way. It's a lot of people, and it goes back to what I was saying. Like, I would love to give people advice, and I've given advice about, listen, set up your thing the right way, XYZ. It's so many little intricacies, man, that people don't know. We could spend another 6-7 hours on me just speaking about setting up the business aspect of music to make sure, listen, you're making money in your sleep. It might not be a lot, but there's money to be made. Just make sure that producers work amicably with you, fairly with you. Make sure everything is done in writing. Very little things that people just knock up a thing and send it out, and they don't know where the money is going and whatever the case. And I just had to put somebody on the other day and tell them, listen, you have a lot of money you should be collecting. Because they were very upset, as far as sorry for speaking so long, but they were upset about why they're not getting money. I was like, because he didn't do X, Y, Z. And a lot of people, unfortunately, don't do that. That's how an entire pandemic passed, and with not so much or so many performances, there was still a little thing coming in over here. So it's all about setting yourself up the right way.
Perfect. When we come back, we're going to look at the bigger picture. Looking forward, Vincy Soca, Vincy Calypso, the whole industry. How do we take it further? What are the challenges? And I know that you guys are going to give me your honest opinions, because we look forward to that. So we'll be right back on the press room.
We don't want no fortune thing. Fortune thing. We don't want no fortune thing. Fortune thing. We don't want no fortune thing. Fortune thing. Fed up at the fortune thing. We can't take no fortune thing. Fed up at the fortune thing. Fortune thing. Fed up at the fortune thing. We can't take no fortune thing. Fed up at the fortune thing. Prove it. Yo, crash. Man from Vincy. Tell the authority. Open up the gate and then go see. Anytime we touch road, it's problem. Anytime we link up, it's problem. Anytime we drink rum, what's problem? Some unsolved mystery, we living for them, solve them. We problematic, problem. Them cannot stop it, it's problem. Them have to watch it, what's problem?
I'm Shanika John, Chief Health Promotion Officer acting in the Ministry of Health, Wellness and Environment. Since St. Vincent and the Grenadines started administering the COVID-19 vaccines, we've encouraged persons from different age group, different risk factors to get vaccinated. For those persons who have contracted the COVID-19 virus, vaccinated or unvaccinated, the severity and the impact of the virus is significantly different. If you've not yet considered getting the vaccine, I encourage you to do so today. Get vaccinated.
Welcome back. We are in the press room with Shaunelle McKenzie, Magikal, and Problem Child. And Magikal, you're fed up of the virtual thing, boy.
Yes.
Yeah, fed up of the virtual thing,
Very
right? So we want to look at the wider issue of the music industry here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And we just want to tell those of you who are listening and following us, following the stream, that you can place your questions, and we'll in the last segment we'll take as many questions as we can and ask these wonderful persons here and get their feedback. Give me your honest perception and view of the music industry in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And that question, we're going to start with ladies first. And when I want your honest opinion, all right? If you don't give me your honest opinion, it's gonna your nose is going to grow, all right? All right. So come on, give me your honest opinion.
Music industry, oh Lord. We have so much to do. And this is it. I mean, even artists themselves, personal development. I remember a couple of years ago, we were doing 10 shows and I had to speak to my fellow tent members and say to them, the way we go on stage and present ourselves, we have to do better. We saw the improvements. Listen, Vincentian artists with the support of our, I don't want to say anything to mash any toes or anything, because I'm trying to choose my words quite carefully, but I'm trying to choose my words quite carefully, but we have much work to do. We have a lot of work to do. Even the artists within themselves, personal development, and even what is put in place for us to build on. I mean, this is a digital era, and I mean, things are available to everybody, who could go on, but there are a lot of us who are still not educated on what is out there and what is available to us to make that money even while we're not on stage. Yeah. And um, our industry, I mean, it's a growing one. Everybody wants to dip their foot in it and see what happens, but there needs to be structure. There's no structure. There's absolutely no structure. And that is something I think that we need to work on here in terms of our music industry. If you can really call it an industry. We have from copywriting, from, you name it. There's a lot to do.
What would you call it, Shaunelle, if it's not an industry? You're not getting away with that.
I would call it a work in progress.
Work in progress.
Yes.
She's avoiding tools. I realize you're avoiding tools. All right. I'll live with that. What about you, Magikal? You are new in the work in progress. The coach.
Well,
what was your view of the music
basically,
industry?
I would say the problem we have. Well, this is some of the problem we have is the have a knowledge about the music, a full understanding about the music in terms of like the theory part of the music. You don't have nobody to like teach you. Like even the writing, it don't have nobody to like pass these knowledge to we to let we know, all right, then this is how we do stuff, this is how we do stuff. So we lack that knowledge, right? We as Vincy artists, myself as well, we don't have that branding about we, like most of us, even myself, we go on stage or one stage, we just regular, we just put on a pants, a shirt, a shoes, we go on stage. We ain't had a proper presentation to sell ourselves to the world, right? That is the next thing. Production as well, as in terms of the music production. Um, the music, from the music, we ain't have the quality in certain aspects. And as the problem said earlier, if you hit up a producer engineer and say, yo, bro, that song we mix this for, so I ain't find it mix good, they're going to see it as an offense, as like, who is you to tell me it ain't mix good? So I would say basically we ain't have the guideline as in the music. We do have the guidelines. And me as a young one, because I'm young, I'm very young in the music industry. Me as a young one, there's a lot of things I did not understand, and well, the pandemic helped me to learn a lot and realize like I was lacking on this, I was lacking on that. Looking back at some at my performance in the past, like when I performing, I was shouting, like shouting, like this is how I did song back then, and like never had like a bigger pause in the industry to come and correct me and say like you're shouting while you're performing. The next important is we need that support, like proper management to help us. So, like we have artists with good song, but do have travel documents. So if someone wanna book us in say America, we can't go to America. Well, not me because I don't make sure all this stuff are secure. In Canada, some promoter wanna book us. We don't have the documents like the visas and stuff like this. So all these things need to take into consideration for we as the young ones. We need a guideline from the one above us. Well, the people above us, not even artists alone, as in like people in authority, people who who understand the music and the game to an extent can come and help us. That's why me, I said I reach out to these bigger guys and say like, oh, bro, how you guys do this? How you guys do that? In terms of we building a branding, as in changing to music, a branding and a whole, because as somehow we as well would probably have, like, say, we have documents, and then when we come over, so we might come on a show with a Grenadian, a Belgian, Trinidad, like people from other country, and then just the presentation, as in the presentation is proper presentation, like the traveling with the DJ and stuff like that. We as artists who we just like come and we just treat it like a hustle, like we just come by ourselves, we just run out on stage, we do a thing, and yeah, that's it. We get paid and we good, but well, it's not everybody yet, but me as a person, I did not see the bigger picture, as in, yeah, have a personal DJ, dress proper when they performing, doing all these things, get a contract, send a contract to promoters and stuff like this. Like, these are things I was lacking in 2019, which make I realize I lose a lot, and I try to correct those mistakes as soon as possible. So, to the other artists, I go tell them, like, try to reach on that level where we deal with the music on a professional level. We know, like, yeah, this is the job. We need to do it to the best of our ability. If you ain't nothing, reach out to the guys, because I could tell you this from my experience. Like Problem Child for one, if you reach out to Problem and ask him stuff, I know he gonna tell a thing. I show this same go to Skinny, same go to those guys. They will tell you stuff. Like they go like at one point in time I wanted come to do something, reach out to Problem, ask Problem like how we do this. He tell me, and I tell him like thanks, and he tell me once you're serious about it, you will learn. You will eventually go learn. And now I'm learning the music for external the game and the industry. Just need to try to bring the best version of me, and I hope the rest artists can do the same and stop treating it like a hustle. You treat it like a job, cause like a promoter will book me, and I will give the promoter my price. Well, not me, management. The management is to deal with those stuff until now. And then the promoter might can work with my price and go and check a next artist who on my level, and then the next artist will probably give him like a less price, as in value itself less. As we as young artists, we choose value and stuff like that. So we are get all these things together as artists and work together. Everybody come together, understand, set a system, and we good to go. So that is my 2 cents on the whole industry right now.
Problem? What's your view?
I mean, everybody, Shaunelle and Maggie basically covered everything. My thoughts. I think we're full of talent. I don't think nobody, any other nation, island, whatever you want to, geographical location, possess any more talent than the Vincy artists. I don't think so. We're full of vibes. For our island to be so small, our carnival is one of the best. You know, I always tell people we're small in size, but we're big in vibes. You understand what I'm saying? And the issues are like the young artists, especially, or artists in general. Let me get off the young artists then, because it's not just them. We need to bury the egos. You understand what I'm saying? If you have a song, and like Maggie was saying, as far as levels, I don't think he meant as far as somebody's better than somebody, but we can't deny that some people are more accomplished than others. Now, if you have a song and it's doing well, don't let that get to your head and feel like nobody can tell you nothing. No, because basically, bro, you haven't really done much. You know what I'm saying? And then you're going to be put in an environment among other people, and then you think you know the most. And then our island, we have the least amount of recognized international performing soca artists. Internationally, we do. You know, if I want to do a project, it's very rare when I could find this many artists from my island who's going to be recognized outside if I want my project to go outside and break boundaries and reach different borders. I would love to have a project with, let's say, a full Vincy cast. But in so doing, I'm going to realize one or two things. It's either 2 songs or 3 songs based on who has outside recognition that's going to leave, or the project is going to stay right there. So you have to be real. We have to be real with each other. We need to bury the egos. We need to, like Maggie's saying, presentation is key. You know, we can't have songs with playing on radio stations with baby crying in the background and dog barking outside and thing that somebody knock up somewhere. You know what I mean? That's unheard of. That's unheard of. We need to have a benchmark. We need to say, listen, you're talented. I rate you. However, the sound, the quality, this cannot stand up against anything in any other island anyway. And let the young men or the artists go back and try to find a better sound, you know. And if we do that, we've spoiled people. We have spoiled people, because now somebody's doing something that's subpar, and it happens. The quality is not good enough, but it's accepted. So once it's accepted, they're not going to think that anything is wrong with it. For me not to go and say, Brethren, this ain't good enough, you know. I might think shell any place. I might think shell any place. You can't tell. I might think shell any place. So there's no benchmark, and a lot of people thrive on the thing shell any place. But there's levels and levels and levels and levels and levels above that. There are things that I've accomplished, and there are things that I've yet to accomplish that I'm going to, because I'm willing to listen and I'm willing to learn. I'm willing to know, like, okay, better could always be done. You know, where I am now, I wasn't always there. You know, and it's for anybody, not just me. It's for anybody, but you have to bury your ego and understand if somebody telling you something for your own benefit, it's not because they want to show you up or be condescending. They're trying to lift you up.
The problem, a lot of that is also coming from persons' inability to be honest with people. Like, they might hear an artist performing. I mean, Magikal is, I'll use him as an example, not saying this is so, and he's shouting, or he do a record and he's out of key, and the DJ is blazing it, and nobody's gonna step up to the front and say, listen, Maggie, I'm gonna be honest with you. That song ain't it. The mixing is bad. Your singing is bad. Yeah. You're right. You're absolutely right.
Who are you to tell?
You're absolutely right. And then the DJs are gonna be blazing it, but nobody's saying, you know what? No, you're out of key. You understand? But
1 second, I think the problem where a lot of us have as well is the home hype, as in we get caught up in the home hype. Like, we have a fan base home, and it ain't matter what we give to them, they're gonna take it because we is we, and they're gonna run with it. The minivan, like, we go sing a song and we might add a van name in it, and then the van start to play it right through. So,
and you make it.
And yeah, one thing.
Listen,
I love it.
He's arrived.
The biggest power soca song in the last 3 years, or one off, let me not take titles because I don't believe in self-praise, is Nasty Up, right? That song was not really big at home. It wasn't. It's not until the last 2-3 days of Carnival, the last week, it started to get a little bit of love. But look what it has done to the entire world. Because I don't thrive on being spoiled. You understand what I'm saying? And we need to stay with quality. It was well recorded. We all are talented. It is not like I alone could do it. Anybody could do it. But there's things and formulas and ways you go about it. A song could be super, 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 super wicked. And then a DJ wants to cross it from one record to the next, but when it goes over to that record, like Shaunelle says, it's the guy's out of key. It just doesn't sound right. The bass is not hitting right because it wasn't mastered properly. These little things. But at home hype, according to Maggie. Yeah. So we gotta really just be real with each other and with ourselves more than anything else if we want to get somewhere.
Yep.
Otherwise, it's where we're gonna be.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Are you all looking forward to Vincymas 2022, and what are your expectations? How optimistic are you?
Anybody?
Anybody.
I'm tired of going first.
Listen, Magikal, I'm putting you on the spot. You know why I'm putting you on the spot?
Boy, wait a give me 1 second. Like, I miss Carnival like so bad till like when outside. The place basically don't try to open up back home, but when Carnival was in a Carnival, by the grace of God, if a show starts 9 o'clock, 2 minutes to 9, I be in the park already, up and ready. So I could tell you guys, just look out for good music, quality music. We have a lot of stuff cooking, but you know, we are there cook proper now. We don't want to too much salt, too much ketchup, too much whatsoever, and spoil it. So make sure that it's right, the right mix, the right master, the right everything. So when we put out music or something proper, we put it out because I just say it's 3 years since we didn't have carnival, and I have my reason why I just say it's 3 years since we didn't have carnival. So this year, well, most people will say it's 2, but I just say 3. This year we are make sure it's different. It's different. The energy gonna be amazing when we touch any road. It's gonna be vibe. Like you could then see the energy coming from the crowd. Everybody singing along and party. So I ready, 100% ready. And hopefully we have the carnival this year.
Shaunelle, are you ready? I feel like getting a soca song going there. Are you ready?
Well, yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to Carnival. Looking forward to new music. I am looking forward to defending the crown, of course. But I'm looking forward to the whole experience. I'm ready to get back on the road and just having a free up vibe. So to put it, we're tired. But the Magikal say you're tired of virtual, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm very excited about it.
Right. We're gonna come back with our discussion. I have a very important question to ask my wonderful guest. And also remember, you can post your questions. Now is the time to post your questions in the comment section below, and let's see how many of these questions we can get into our panel. All right, we'll be right back in the press room.
Man from Vincy. This year is peace over drama, distance over disrespect, and that is the case. Talk about my life in a happy place. Wait my time till you get pull, because me never ungrateful. Me never born with a plate full. But me bring them love, to bring me hate, to bring me pain. To every day, they drag me name, but me still maintain to be great. Cause you can't stop my progress. Wake up feeling so blessed, 100% love, no stress, no other. You can't stop my progress. Good vibes and be happiness. If you don't believe in nothing, let's spread your hands and sing. So we are so over them. Rise, we are rise over them.
I got my COVID-19 vaccine and my booster shot to ensure that I am protected. I've never been tested positive for COVID-19, and even if I did contract the virus, I've never been sick. And I am confident that the COVID-19 vaccine significantly contributed to that. The vaccines are safe, they are effective, and they're one of the ways that we can navigate this pandemic together. If you've not yet considered vaccination or getting your booster shot, I encourage you to do so today. Get vaccinated.
Well, welcome back. We're in the press room here, and we have Magikal, Shaunelle McKenzie, and Problem Child. We have one thing I needed to ask you guys, but someone is asking, Problem, what is the formula that you have developed in making you such an exceptional writer?
Well, thanks for thinking I'm an exceptional writer. I'm true to music. I'm true to music. I try to make songs that people could relate to, and if my heart and my energy and my everything is not in a song, if it doesn't leave me feeling like it's the best song I've ever written, I don't let it go anywhere. I don't force the music. I don't force it. Like if I have a beat and nothing is coming, nothing just isn't coming. Something is coming, then it is, you know. But over time, it's just like I said, it becomes second nature, where it becomes relatively easy, not always easy, but I just try to remain true to, you know, different aspects of life and life's experiences. I just try to write about things that I've experienced, friends have experienced, things that I would like to see happen, things that actually did happen, which is experiences. So it's just about keeping it real, just write about reality, things people will see and be like, oh yeah, you know, that's true.
Excellent. Rhonda Washington wants to know, where is the industry now, 2 years after COVID? Shaunelle, where's the industry now? Dr. Shaunelle.
The industry is still here. I can tell you most of the artists are pretty excited to have the ball rolling again, get back on stage and, you know, start putting music back out on the airwaves. I know that with the prospects that they're gonna start actually earning a living again. So I know it's a work in progress. We're getting there.
All right. Thank you so much. Yeah. What do you think? What about you, Magikal? You want to chime in on that? Where's the industry now? You are the longest reigning Soca Monarch. Yes, 2 years.
Well, boy, the industry now, it's still here. It's still here. I could tell you that for a fact. The industry is still here. Just some of the guys need to just get back on track. As in, I remember it's 2 years. Some of we have been down, rusty and stuff like that. But we just need to get back on track, which will be pretty soon. Guys, see outside open up shows for the kids, artists start back to get book and stuff like that. So yeah, we're getting there.
Right. A question here. Good night to the team. This is Bonnie Rebel. Why some of us have been pushed aside and the people who can help us have been so selfish? Yeah, Bonnie Rebel is saying that people have been pushed aside and people are not willing to help. People are being selfish. I know you may not be able to speak to any particular situation, but do you feel that there is that type of pushing aside and selfishness in the industry?
Crickets.
Bro, that does happen. But if you build fruit, you build fruit. You understand? The hard reality and the harsh reality is this: nobody cares, bro. In anything you do, for every great football player, is somebody who ain't getting what they're supposed to get, who's 10 times greater. It's up to you to decide, listen, I want this. And if it take a man 2 minutes to get it and it take me 10 years, I'm willing to put in the 10 years. You have to be willing to do what it takes. Because what it takes for me to make it is not what it would take for Shaunelle or Magikal to make it. We all have our own road to travel, our own stories. So it's up to you now. Nobody ain't gonna pick you up and cradle you and breastfeed you and say, here, look, everything. No. Because if anybody who know my story, know how difficult my story was or has been and still is. But I'm built for it. I'm the type of person like adversity makes me stronger. Resistance makes me stronger. I'm very ambitious. If somebody said you can't do something, I'm the type of person, oh yeah, I'm gonna prove to you that I could do it. I might not do it in the time frame that you think I couldn't do it. It might take me an extra couple of years. Some people give up. Some people soft. Some people think that it's supposed to be handed to them. No, bro. In any field, any genre, if you just pick mango, It have a man who does pick mango better than you, who ain't getting the recognition. Anything you do, it's up to you now to go out there and prove you is the best mango picker. If you want it bad enough, you will find a way.
Not only that, the amount of years. Look how long it took me to win a national crown. People, nobody didn't exactly come to me and say, Shaunelle, come, I'm gonna hand this to you. It's years and years and crying after every carnival and still asking yourself, why am I doing this? Why am I putting so much effort into this when you know it's a total bust every year? And then you're still going, and eventually, like Shertz said, my road is not their road.
Yeah, just to add my 2 cents on the Shaunelle and problem say, I been trying the music a long time, like since I went in Palm One in 2010, I was trying the music, and from 2010 to 2018, which is 8 years, I've been trying the music, and a lot of people neglect me, a lot of people push me aside, a lot of producers tell me they're not gonna work with me because I'm trash, I'm garbage. Like it even reached to that extent, and but I never give up on my career and my craft because by the end of the day, as the problem say, nobody obligated to really give you nothing.
Yo,
You as a person
you
have to
can't
be,
give up.
you have to
Yo,
be strong.
sorry to cut you, Maggie. Let me tell you something that happened to me, right? I young and trying a thing, right? And nobody gave me a blind. And I used to have to sing on cassette, right? I used to have to sing on cassette, the whole song from start to end. So if you make a mistake, you have to start over. They had no punch in it, right? And somebody heard a song that I did, took the melody and most of the lyrics, and made a record out of it. That person shall remain, undisclosed. But it's things like that people might see it as a fight or whatever the case may be. You know what that told me? That told me, oh, my thing good enough for you to use. So I good then. You understand? So therefore, you have to look at things, negative things, you have to turn it around and make it positive, because that could have out my life. That could have made me like, nah, boy, me want no part of this industry. Instead, what I looked at was the fact that if you could take my thing who nobody know and use it for yourself, that means it's good enough. That means I have something there to build on.
We need to make sure and organize that exclusive interview problem to reveal.
Nah.
Boy, you know that same thing reached me as well. That same exact thing reached me as well. And at that point in time, the kind of anger was run to me, like because like a big producer report and say like young artist must send him a demo, and I write the song and send it, and then like you never reply to me, and in the carnival season I actually see the exact word in the starting. It's not been the whole thing, but like some of the stuff I sent was there like exactly the same, and like when I hit him up on thing, he never replied to me, and I just feel yeah. I can't say it on camera how I feel.
All right. Someone wants to know how you guys plan on tapping into the virtual market. Even as things open back up, we understand that whole virtual scene even is going to be here to stay to some extent. What plans are on the way to really fully tap into that, and especially our two more local artists?
Well, the whole virtual thing, I try to use it to the best of my ability. During the whole pandemic, I don't know if you guys know, but on a Wednesday, I used to normally have a live called Vibes Wednesday, right? Like I like something I bring other artists and stuff like that home by me, and it started creating a vibe. Like DJs started come, promoters started watch and stuff like that. That's why currently, if you know, I'm out the country at the moment. These bookings came from Vibes Wednesday, so I try to capitalize on that bit, and then in terms of understanding how streaming and things like this work. So this is where we start to understand the music to a larger extent, realizing that how the streaming work, how you get paid from certain sites and all these things. You start to do like more advertisement and those things. You can tap into a different market as well to keep your brand and your standard and itself up at the same time. So That is my plan basically. The virtual, keep like a vibes on social media. That is it basically. Just keep a vibe, keep your branding up, and things will happen to you.
Um, it's the person is correct. Virtual is where it's at now. I remember when the year started, I had made a post on social media promising to have a bit more presence and because I find that social media can be mean. People can be so mean. And people fail to realize that artists and people who put themselves out there, not so much because they want to, but they're doing music, so it comes with the territory. But people can genuinely be mean. And I have tried my utmost to stay away from the madness and stay away from people who just say things just to hurt people or get a reaction out of people. But you realize that that's where everything is headed now on the virtual space. So I guess we have to all face it head on and take the good, the bad, and the ugly. And if you want your stuff to get recognized, by a wider audience, you have to jump in.
Shaunelle,
as Problem said, you gotta decide if you're built for it.
Exactly. Shaunelle, nobody can hurt me with words. Nobody. It only had like 3-4 people walking the face of the earth that could hurt Problem Child with words. And that's the approach you have to take. I shouldn't mean that much to you that I could hurt you with words. It's just words. Words is win. You understand? If it's like your immediate family member doing something to genuinely get under your skin, you think somebody who I don't know could say something to affect me in any way? I mean, negatively. Positively, yes, bring it on. I'll bathe in it. But you can say whatever you want to say. I see it. I just laugh. You understand? Because I sure enough, let me tell you something. And this is going to sound somewhat condescending, and it may sound a little bit bossy or whatever, but it's the reality. You're an entertainer. You're an artist. Every reality show, it have people sit down watching the people them on the TV talking the most about them. You never see the people on the TV talking about the people watching.
It's true. I mean, you have a point there.
That is what you are here for. That's a part of your job prerequisite. That people are gonna talk about you, they're gonna criticize. People who don't know you are gonna say things, they're gonna be misinformed, they're gonna assume, they're gonna make stuff up. That's worse. And people just only talk for 72 hours besides. Then they just find something else to talk about.
Exactly. Shaunelle, one last question from the audience that I know we commented on it very early in the piece, but someone wants to know what has kept you motivated from since age 10? What has kept you motivated as a female artist over the span of all these years?
Oh, wow.
I did touch on that at the beginning of the program.
Like I said, it's my love for music, and I think that somebody needs to represent strong for the female artists in St. Vincent. I think that I've been doing it for a very long time, and I will continue to do it, as long as I have good health, strength, good material, I will continue to do it. So it's just my love and the support that I get from my family, my friends, you name it, the people that want to see good for you. They're the ones that actually keep you motivated and keep you wanting to always remain in an industry that is so competitive. And when you're fighting against, well, maybe not fighting, but when you're coming up against these giants, the Problems, the Looters, the Hands, it's a struggle. It's a struggle, but you know what? The females are getting there. The females are getting there. Big up to Nikki, big up to Sita, big up to all the other females that are doing the thing. Sheena, you name it. Big up to all of them.
Right. So we're gonna go for our last break, and when we come back, we're gonna hear final thoughts from our panel, and I'm also gonna let them, when they're given their final thoughts, answer this question. If you are Minister of Culture for a day and you're given the rubber stamp by Prime Minister Gonzalez to implement any one change that will assist the music industry in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, what change would that be? So when we come back, we're going to hear their final thoughts and they're going to answer that question. All right?
I got my COVID-19 vaccine and my booster shot to ensure that I am protected. I've never been tested positive for COVID-19, and even if I did contract the virus, I've never been sick. And I'm confident that the COVID-19 vaccine significantly contributed to that. The vaccines are safe, they are effective, and they're one of the ways that we can navigate this pandemic together. If you've not yet considered vaccination or getting your booster shot, I encourage you to do so today. Get vaccinated.
Well, welcome back. We're back in the press room with Shaunelle McKenzie, Magikal, and Problem Child. And so we're going to just, as we run out of time, we're going to just take some final comments from them. And they're going to answer that question. You have been sworn in as Minister of Culture for a day. And Dr. Gonzalez have given you a rubber stamp. Any decision that you make that day to enhance culture and music in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, you're going to get whatever money it's going to take, whatever. What one decision you're going to make, and give us your closing remarks. We're going to start with Problem Child. Final comment.
I just wanna send a strength and encouraging words, send an encouragement to all the artists out there. I'm saying, to put their best foot forward and just know that anything is achievable. You know what I'm saying? You just have to put your mind and your heart to it. Don't be afraid to listen. Don't be afraid to learn. That's the only way you're gonna get better. Thank you guys for having me and for listening, for everybody who was listening. And as far as, it's kind of weird, man. The changes I want to see are not so much physical changes. It's more internal changes. It's more spiritual change. It's more acceptance of the truth and be willing to learn among the people in the industry. Not so much a money thing now, because money would always come if a lot of things are changed. Because money can't change your mindset, Money can't change your mindset. You understand? So those are the things I would rather see. And it doesn't take the cultural ministry to accomplish this. It takes us each being one with each other and one with ourselves and being true to ourselves. The weirdest thing is, sorry for talking so long, but the weirdest thing is I have more ideas for the development of sports than I do for music, because that is where you could do something more physical. But we can talk about that another time.
Definitely.
Yeah.
All right. So Magikal, we started with the lady and we're gonna end with the lady. So Magikal, your turn. Final comments.
Can you repeat the question, please?
Just give your final comments, and also if you're Minister of Culture for one day and you're given a rubber stamp by the Prime Minister to implement one thing, and whatever you implement will go without any question, what would that be?
I would have given every entertainer their work permit for all the overseas countries. That's what I would have done.
Assist to get the work permits.
Yeah.
Okay. Any final thoughts or any final words?
Well, my final word to every artist, just take the time out and invest in a craft, look at the bigger picture, and treat the music like a job and not a hustle. Yeah, that's it.
Queen Shaunelle.
First of all, let me thank Searchlight for inviting me here. I really enjoyed it. You know, we do need a lot more dialogue when it comes to music and entertainment in St. Vincent, you know. So I always welcome these discussions. So thank you for inviting me. I just want to say to the artists, you know, just come out and do your best. Don't be afraid to ask for help, ask for guidance. You know, we're always, and even if it's not me, you know, anybody, just have an open mind when it comes to music and entertainment, you know, and things will go much, much smoother. If I had that rubber stamp, something I would do is I would implement a law where a great percentage of the music played on air is from our local artists. That's something I would definitely implement. Too many times we have so much talent in St. Vincent, so much music that is just being buried because people the DJs, they don't appreciate it, or so much talent. You know, a couple of years when I took a break from soca music, I mean, Nikki, I could mention Nikki. Nikki has such great music, and it's like they all get buried. Even other artists who I know have done excellent work over the years, you don't hear their music. Why? Because we're so consumed with appreciating other people. I'm not saying that we can't love other people's material. I'm just saying, let's just give our local artists the opportunity to hear their music on air, and you know, it would go a long way. So that's something I would definitely implement. Just give me that stamp. It's done.
Well, thank you so very much to our guests and everyone who joined us. And we will see you next time in the press room, same time, same place.
Man from Vincy. This year is peace over drama, distance over disrespect. And that is the case. Talk about my life in a happy place. Wait my time till it get pull, because me never ungrateful. Me never born with a plate full. But me bring them love, to bring me hate, to bring me pain. To every day, they drag me name, but me still maintain to be great. Cause you can't stop my progress. Wake up feeling so blessed. 100% love, no stress, no other. You can't stop my progress. Good vibes and day happiness. If you don't believe in nothing less, spread your hands and sing. So we are so